another day, another video. Today is Friday and we're a bit quiet at the moment, but we anticipate that there should be quite a lot of shipments coming in this weekend. So we've gave the shop a quick tidy and a hoover, ready to start the day, and I'm just putting some protective out on the shelves.
So as you can see, we have not a lot of stock at the moment. This is because we are coming into the summer season, which basically means that there is no need to have a lot of dead stock sitting tied up in cash. So what we have done is we've run the stock down. That's what you usually do every year. Obviously there was a certain Elite League referee that wasn't happy that I didn't make a comment about how the fact that we actually sponsor him, and it's not just the fact that we put up with him, it's we actually like Toby. Toby is actually one of the guys that he's been very loyal to us since we started. He's always came to us for his skate sharpenings, not just because we sponsor him, but because we do it right, and he's quite pernickety with his gear, obviously, as Pam will tell you.
Hi Toby. But you're a fussy gate.
That just means that he's very, very fussy, obviously. If you're Scottish and you know what a fussy get means, it's like a fussy bugger, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically it. There was one other thing I had to show. Now, obviously we've got Toby on display up here in the main part of the shop beside Drew Miller. But there was a funny story that basically Pamela was getting slagged by Toby, and Toby ended up in the wall of shame. Now the wall of shame, believe it or not, is the actual toilet of the shop. So obviously at the moment it's not necessarily a wall of shame for this reason. This is a good photo that was taken by Al Gould Photography, shout out Al. But there's another Elite League referee's jersey in here, Robert Cowens. Now Robert Cowan and I played together at the Irvine Flyers, and it was a bit of a running joke that obviously we put Bob Cowan's jersey in the bathroom for the wall of shame. So it's not necessarily the wall of shame, but we thought it was funny. What else are you up to?
I'm going to move my #1 fan away from the front door because, as you can see, we have plate glass windows, and give it till about 2 o'clock this afternoon and it'll be like a sauna in here. So I'm positioning the fan so that Big Boss fan doesn't get too hot when he's been a slave to the sharpening machine.
That would mean that we would actually have to be busy for that to happen. But I suppose we say...
9 pairs of skates coming up.
Yeah, there's 9 pairs of skates coming. We've got a regular customer that brings 9 pairs. So that kind of helps, keeps me busy.
Keeps you out of trouble. It's a bit boring watching me tidy up.
Well, that's the thing that people want to know what goes on behind the scenes. So,
well, I'm going to finish tidying up in about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to touch base with all my customers and let them know of all the delays on the orders because of the time of year, and then I'll tackle one of the 9 million tasks that we've got to do.
So here's a question. Should we then give the customers an insight into what actually has been happening with supplies over the last little while? So if you have ordered stuff from Cold-Blooded Sports or some other suppliers and stuff hasn't been in stock, what is the reasoning behind this?
Okay, so since COVID, many of our manufacturers are struggling to either produce the product or ship the product, and there's a massive number of factors that's affecting that. Factories let a lot of staff go during COVID, and my guess, I don't have facts in this, but it's a quite educated guess, is that they didn't get their full workforce back. Coupled with the fact that a shipping container has exponentially increased in cost. So where it used to cost maybe £3,500 to ship a container, it's now £30,000 and climbing. The availability of the raw product is really difficult at the moment, and then coupled with the fact that we are now not part of Europe, so shipping over the border means that everything sits at customs for X amount of days, and that can be 3 days to 3 weeks. Time of year is a factor. Our main suppliers will ship what's called a booking order, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. One of the main periods of time where the booking order comes in is the pre-season summer period, and this will be June, July, August. So that's that period after Christmas and before the shipping containers start coming in is scarce, and it's very difficult to keep stuff in stock and to get stuff in stock, and that's where we rely on the European warehouses holding stock and for us to be able to get it through the supply chain. So this time of year can be awkward because it can take anything from 2 or 3 days, where it would normally take, to 2 or 3 weeks, to anything up to 6 weeks. If I touch very quickly on one of the main figure skate suppliers, which figure skate brands, which is Idea. Since coming out of COVID, Idea's popularity has risen dramatically, but with all the other factors on the table, it means that getting boots is like trying to find hen's teeth. We've got anywhere between a 6-week and a 6-month wait for boots. Yes, I did say 6 months wait. If you're buying an Ice Fly, a Chorus, a Concerto, or even a piano, you need to factor in a minimum of about 5 to 6 months to wait if it is not within the UK stock. And not a lot of these top models like Fly, Piano, and maybe even a Concerto are kept in stock. The other lower models, because they can't produce them quick enough for the general market, not just here in the UK but worldwide, means that things like the Overture, which is a really simple model for a lot of people, doesn't stay in stock for long, so we have to wait X amount of weeks for these to come in. It's a worldwide known problem, so I'm not talking out of school. It is what it is. We try to be very honest with customers, but sometimes it looks like a product's in stock until the point in time we go to actually get it from the supplier, and that's when it comes across that it's out of stock. There can be a number of reasons for that. And then usually what happens after that point is we then place a back order. It could be that we're waiting on Europe getting it in, which then means that we've got to wait even longer than just shipping it out of Europe, which can take anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks, up to 6 weeks if it's coming from the likes of CCM in Europe. So these things all mean that at this time of year it's really difficult for us to get stock, and I spend a lot of my time backwards and forwards. This isn't in stock, I can get this, I can't get that, I can't get the next thing. Products ending plays a massive part. Products are only in, ice hockey products are only in production for 2 years, so every 2 years protective gloves, sticks, skates will change. This year we're going to see the Supreme range of skates change. It's the Vapor Protective that's changing. It's the Tax skates, sticks and protective that's changing, and I believe it's the Warrior Covert sticks that's changing. I'm not 100% sure if their protective is going to change this year or not. These things all come out once we start receiving the new product lists and catalogues from the suppliers, which hasn't quite happened yet. If we can't get your products or you're looking for a gift, one of the main ways to support us and also be able to be providing a good gift is we have gift certificates on our website available. You can buy them in store. We also have our own merchandise like our hats, which we will add to over the coming months and years. But coming out of COVID, we've had to go backwards to go forwards. We did have an entire clothing range as a sister company to Cold Blooded Sports, which was Fighting Major Clothing, but unfortunately when we had the fire we lost thousands of pounds of stock, which weren't insured, and we'll touch on that another time, but we lost everything for that. So we took some time to build Cold Blooded Sports back up first, and it is a discussion we've been having with one of the other partners involved with Fighting Major, that we might or might not get. Maybe not fighting major started again, but we'll maybe look at getting something started again. One, we enjoyed it. We loved coming up with new ideas for clothing and t-shirt designs, and two, it supported our customers who want to wear our logo and equipment when they're in and around rinks. You might still spot some of them on people's heads or jackets now and again.
Predominantly we see it at the Learn to Play session at, where is it again, Time Capsule?
Time Capsule.
There's still a lot of kids kind of running about with these kind of jerseys on. We had training jerseys, we had other things as well. So
well, we started off, we were involved with when it was the Red Bull Crashed Ice, and we facilitated a bit of a sponsorship deal with the skaters who were skating for Scotland, who were Graham McCamley, Hayden Bain, our very, very, very good friend Callum Boyd, and Liam Brady, and they all came to the shop, and we were very lucky that Al Gill came along. He did a massive photo shoot, and we got them their inline hockey skates as a deal that we did with Red Bull to support the Scottish boys, which was their practice skates before they went to do the crashed ice. So we launched our crashed ice jerseys at that time to support the boys. You can still see the odd one of those about.
That you will be actually able to see that in one of the next videos, where is probably the title of this video will be how many jerseys are too many jerseys when we go through my jersey collection.
Yes. And then after the crashed ice jersey, we had our own Hector logo training jerseys, but then we had the camouflage jerseys. We had the 4 camouflage jerseys that we did, the game jerseys. We also assisted and sponsored the Clutha Volts Memorial Game, which was a year after the disaster, with Adam Wilkie, and we sponsored the warm-up jerseys for the Cardiff Devils and the Braehead Clan, and we had them wearing police and fire jerseys, which can be spotted around the rink as well. They were one-off, stand-alone, and they were auctioned off for charity. Designed
by Scott David.
Yep.
There's actually a really funny story about the Scott David with regards to the jerseys. When we made all the jerseys, the clan signed an extra player, Jeff Smith, and unfortunately we never had a jersey for Jeff Smith, but the designer had actually made his own jersey with David on the back of it, with Jeff Smith's number, which just so happened to be Scott's number. So when Jeff Smith came to the clan, he was formerly known as David, due to the fact that his jersey was obviously Scott David's jersey. So he lost the name Jeff and gained the name David.
So after those jerseys, we did the 10th anniversary jerseys. I was looking to see, but we don't have any left, which you can still buy on our website, which celebrated our 10-year anniversary of being here in Paisley with a Paisley design jersey, which again was our very good friend Scott David that had designed them for us. And we've done multiple t-shirt designs over the years, and hoodies and t-shirts and jackets and all the rest of it. After COVID, we had to put a bit of a pin in it, as most companies have had to do, and hopefully this season will be the season that we finally get back to some kind of normal development for the future.
So guys, this one is a bit different. This is a Coronation Ace blade that has been mounted to a pair of concertos, and this was ordered in October and finally arrived in April, and this is for me. So we appreciate your patience on waiting on the skates, and hopefully you enjoy watching your skates being put together. we are at home, as you can see. I am in the home office and I have a few skate sharpenings that I'm going to have to do for Tuesday's skating session, or training session, shall I say. So this one's a little bit different. This is a little bit of slow motion for you guys, like basically me setting the stone for a specific depth. I think the depth was a 3/8 radius of hollow, so we are setting it so we can get our skate sharpened. So obviously you're not really going to catch the proper dust coming off of the blade, obviously it being in slow motion and then obviously speeding back up again, but it's more a cool effect when I go to start sharpening and you can actually see the sparks coming off of the blades. So a couple of questions that I've received over Facebook, Instagram and some of the comments from the previous YouTube videos was how long I've been sharpening skates for, and that is about 16 years. I was fortunate enough to be able to complete a Blade Master certification in skate sharpening and skate maintenance, which was put on by one of our suppliers called Blue Line Sports. Shout out Neil and Pauline. We were privy to the information that that course was going to be held in Edinburgh, so I attended that and basically got a qualification in sharpening skates to make sure that I knew I was competent enough for my machines and obviously competent enough to sharpen skates for public. Another question that I had received as well was, is it easier to sharpen skates without the skate present, as in just the blade on its own, or is it easier to sharpen with this actual skate present? And if I'm being honest, it's 6 1/2 dozen. Personally speaking, I like to do my steels out of my skates, just in case there's any discrepancies in the holders, which usually get caught by myself when I'm starting to use my skates. Example being when I take them out of the box for the first time, I'll usually give them a once over. But there is things throughout the year that you may find that happens, i.e. getting a stray puck off the side of the holder or whatever, that can obviously misalign your skate. So sometimes you have to have additional maintenance put on or on your skate, i.e. taking the holders off and relocating them, making sure that they're perfectly straight. I've done that quite a few times with my skates, and personally I re-rivet my skates probably every 3 to 6 months, obviously making sure that they're nice and tight on the holder so the holder doesn't fall off. So now the sharpenings have been done, all that's left is to put my blades back into my skates. So we'll go toe first, clip it in, wind up the dial. That's one ready for Tuesday. And same again for number 2, steel in, clipped in place and dialed nice and tight, ready for Tuesday. And same again for number 2, steel in, clipped in place and dialed nice and tight, ready for Tuesday. Well guys, as you can see, I'm at home again and I've been in the shop earlier on tonight. This is now Wednesday, so this is the future Stephen talking to you. So what happened was we actually made so much content last night with regards to the video of Scott and I talking in the car that I'm going to put it in a separate video just to keep you hanging on, just a wee cliffhanger here. But with regards to the skates, I'll talk over my stuff with my skates and what I've found so far. So obviously, as I said before, this is the two models of skates that I'm currently running. I say I'm currently running two pairs of skates. This is now an emergency pair of skates just in case these break. Again, I've only been in these for maybe a couple of weeks now. I got them originally at Christmas. There was a sale, a January sale on a website. Again, you find that funny that the guy that owns an ice hockey shop can't get through. Now, the reason why I can't get through is we actually don't have a UK supplier for them anymore. There was a UK supplier, but the supplier decided to close down. I don't know the whole ins and outs of it. But with regards to the True Skate, I've been very impressed with it. It's very, very stiff, very lightweight. Personally, I had a lot of issues with them earlier on. Example being, one of the reasons why I didn't want to use them was because some of my customer base was getting them and they had a few issues, example being with the tendon guard. Now, a lot of people don't realise that the tendon guard is actually a bolt on and it has a flap in the inside in here that you can lift and you can tighten it. Now, a couple of problems that we had with a couple of pairs that came in early on when they first were released. One of the major problems was the tendon guard coming off and the bolt stripping. Now, again, I have no affiliation to True. I don't have any supply contracts with them at the moment, so this is just a skate that I've found an interest in due to the fact that many moons ago when the Easton Mako was out, that was a skate that I skated in. I liked the Mako so much that I had 3 pairs of Mako M1s and I had 3 pairs of Mako M2s. Now, my issue with the Makos was that they just didn't have enough protection in them and they broke down very, very quickly. With regards to this skate here, that's totally different. From what I have found personally, I have taken shots in the foot, being a defender. Sometimes I play forward, taking shots off the foot, passes off the foot, and I don't feel a thing with them. They're absolutely solid, and I would definitely give them a try if you get the chance to. With regards to the M5 Pro, I can't say enough good things about this skate other than the fact that I personally felt that it just went a bit soft very quickly for me. I say very quickly. There has been skates where I've had previously that have literally lasted 3 months or maybe 2 weeks. Early model Bowers, back in the day, I used to go through Bowers like nobody's business. I just personally felt that the skate wasn't as good as, say for example, a rival like CCM or even Easton at times. I seem to find that I had a pair of, back in the day it was a pair of Vapor 20s, and the Vapor 20s lasted me a week, and then I replaced them with a pair of 195s which lasted me 2 weeks, and then I was able to warranty them because they had started to split. Just underneath this part here, the footbed had started coming away from the skate within 2 weeks of me skating on them. Again, I'm not exactly a small guy. Again, I'm a big dude. At the time I was probably about 18-19 stone. Obviously you can look that up for conversion if you're into pounds and kilograms and stuff like that, but what I personally find with the Bauer skate is, with this one, the M5 Pro, is one of the most comfortable skates I've had in a long time. Now again, the views that Scott and I have on the Bauer skates are totally different. They're different ends of the spectrum. Scott's had the M5 Pros before and had 2 pairs warranted, where I've had 1 pair, fixed the problem with them and kept skating on them. With regards to these ones, again, I can't say enough good things about them. For the cash that you're spending on a top end pair of skates nowadays, being a shop owner, I know how much I have to buy them in for. Obviously I can't divulge that information because it's not up to me to make that public, but what I find is, for how much I paid for these, I would buy another pair of these in a heartbeat if I had the access to them. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the top of the range or the second top of the range Bauer top end skates anymore, due to the Elite Seller programme in the UK. Now, the Elite Seller programme is something totally different I can touch on if you guys want to know about it, but a brief explanation of the Elite Seller programme is basically we cannot sell the top of the range or the second top of the range in most of the Bauer products because we didn't buy in at the start of the season. One of the things that we decided not to do this year was obviously go with the Elite Seller programme. Now, the Elite Seller programme is, how I would put it, you are restricted to what you can and can't buy. If you decide to go for the Elite Seller program, you can get access to all brands of Bauer here. Basically, we have a performance package with Bauer. We made the decision not to go for the Elite Seller program this season due to the fact that we felt that it was an excessive amount of equipment that we would have had to have bought to have lying in dead stock in our store. Now, being in Scotland, again, not everyone wants to go for top of the range skates, so the Elite Seller program was basically not forcing you, but it was advising you that you had to basically have so many pairs of top end skates in store, so many top end helmets, gloves, sticks, skates. If you went for the Elite Seller program, you then had to pay that set fee again at the start of the next season, which I know you guys had originally been looking forward to hearing what Scott and I had to say about Bauer and True skates, but what I've decided that I'm going to do is I am going to put it in a different video and keep you waiting just a little bit longer, so apologies for that. So stay tuned for some more interesting content coming from Cold Blooded Sports, and make sure you like, share and subscribe and tell all your friends about Cold Blooded Sports. Keep it cold blooded.